Exercise is not a weight loss program. Cardio is not necessary for fat loss. Carbs are not the enemy.
One of the best ways to improve your hip mobility that doesn't require stretching, get up off your ass and walk around.
There is no magical fat burning zone, only poor habits and a poor diet.
What is golf fitness? It is a program designed to make your body better at the game of golf. Squat, deadlift, press, pull, and rotate. This will make you better at golf. It'll make you better in all aspects of your life.
Oh, that's what we should start doing. And take one.
And action.
And the Shoot It Straight podcast, episode 17, I think. This will be.
Oh wait, is that the intro?
No.
Oh, I was like, fuck, I wasn't ready for that.
No. Are you ready now?
Yeah, now I'm ready.
Oh, welcome to the Shoot It Straight podcast.
How we doing, everybody?
And action, episode 17.
That's good. Well, you do like the Kevin James, like action.
Action.
Yeah, you do that in some of our videos, and I got to edit them out, and it's like almost like right up to where I'm start talking, and then you're like action, and I'm like already talking. I'm like, oh shit, gotta like edit that out of the video.
Well, you gotta pause. That's on you. That's why we need one of those things that you clap so it like cuts it, and then that way that's when you start.
All right, order one, whatever. Get it on Amazon.
We don't really need one of those. That means we would need like another person to hold it. A squat would have to be the one that claps.
Make sure to use my Amazon storefront.
Yeah, Cody has.
I'll go ahead and plug that in.
Cody, yeah,
it's blowing my mind.
Yeah, but let's maybe start this week with what we're obsessed with. No, Cody now is officially an influencer because he has an Amazon store link.
Oh, I thought I was an ambassador.
Do they have a name? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. Whatever it is, I have an Amazon storefront. So like people that have always asked me like, hey, where do you get this band or this ball or this kettlebell, whatever, the squat rack, like someone asked me like on Instagram. It's like, it's kind of bizarre. Like what people ask you like in the off, like very corner of your video, be like, hey, what is that thing over there? Yes. I want one of those. And you're like, yes. Oh, and so I mean, it's cool because like I can actually like earn a commission off of people buying this random shit off Amazon that I have like in my garage gym or in my house. And it's like, it's bizarre. I didn't even know that was a thing that you could create this storefront. So if you go to my like link tree on Instagram, for example, you can go to my Amazon storefront and see like everything. And I've uploaded everything that I use. So that way, if you want, you can go in there and just buy it from Amazon. So like you already have your own Amazon account. And then what's wild is like I get a very, very small, I think last time I checked, I've made like 33 cents. But you know, it's like, but it's crazy. I'm like, wow, why don't I do this forever? Because like I've been sending these links to these brands, you know. I'm like, oh, here, go check out Rogue or Perform Better for a band. And here's this like random ball I bought off Amazon that probably came from China. Like, and now I can do that. All right, now it's like easier for both parties involved. I'd be like, hey, just go check out my Amazon storefront, and you can grab it from Amazon, and then rightfully so, I should get a little kickback from that because like I helped this company like sell their product.
100%.
So I've been doing it for years for free, and now I've made 33 cents.
Yeah, your kickback is small, but I mean, it is convenient. It's funny, like you just end up in that space of like these weird influencer type things that people do or whatever. But if you get enough questions about it, it's easier to just send people to your favorite things. I mean, it just is what it is. It just truly is like practical. Here you go. Here's my one link to take you to all the things. But
because people ask all the time, like I post my watch, they're like, "Oh, where's your watch?" People are it's we sell a subscription fitness program, right? And I'm like, man, like people mainly just ask like, "What the hell product are you using?" And
all
I'm
the
like,
time.
you know, so it's like as a business, like selling products is
that's why you see so many people on
selling
Instagram
stuff.
selling things, multiple things, and it gets really like, oh my god, what the fuck? But these people are making side hustle money or a lot of money, depending on what it is. Seriously.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. Like again, we've talked about the business of Instagram and social media, and it's truly fascinating. It's evolving, but it's like these companies are marketing so differently now. And even Amazon, who's a huge company, the cool thing about what they do with their link is like it gets people on Amazon, and then Amazon's website is really good at suggesting all kinds of shit for people to buy. So it's really it's obviously but way more money in Amazon's pocket. Oh, buy your groceries here, buy whatever. Like, this is what you bought last week. Buy it again. It's like so wild. It's seriously wild, but
it's cool. It's fascinating. Like, I mean, I didn't even know this was a thing until like a couple weeks ago when I signed up for it, and I was like, oh, okay, let's see what happens here. So who knows? I hope like one day it's going to be like winning the lottery and somebody's going to go on there and buy something that I get a massive commission from. Like somebody's going to buy like a tiny house or something, and like and somehow it's going to be linked to my Amazon storefront, and I'm going to get this like commission from a house or something. I'm like, oh, sweet, a couple hundred, and for as small as percentage as it is, like who knows, probably like $100, but I don't know. I'm here for it.
Oh my God.
See what happens.
Yeah, stay tuned. Hit up Cody's Amazon link in his link in bio, everybody.
Yeah. Go to my Amazon storefront. It's just a bunch of shit that I use like already. Like I think I've been put on like someone asked the other day, like, oh, where do you buy like Waterloo, like the drink, like my little sparkling water that I drink.
Stop. Seriously?
And I'm like, here, go to my Amazon. Because you can buy it on Amazon. So I'm like, just go. Here you go.
I mean, listen, I'm not in the influencer space. Never have been. Don't want to be. But people do ask those types of questions. I was posting last week. My new obsession is the Ghost energy drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Or I shouldn't even say energy drinks because they have a lot of other products. I'm learning. I've seen them online for years, honestly. I've heard about them. It's not like I hadn't heard about them, but we had them when we went out for our anniversary. We went to the River Spirit Casino, had a fun night, whatever. We woke up, or I did, a little hungover, wanted a little bit of something. Energy drinks are always really good the next day. Actually, it wasn't super hungover, but we went into the little cool casino store and they had all these fun little drinks. And I saw the one, I always want to say Swedish Fish, which they have. Oh, the Sour Patch Kids. Mm-hmm. And I finally was like, that looks pretty, that just sounds really good when you're like, yeah, but when you're like thirsty and hungover, like you want the most random, usually like Diet Coke, soda, fountain soda is where it's at for me. But there was a McDonald's in the casino.
They have fountain drinks everywhere.
Yeah, but I did. But
they had Pepsi.
We were in. They had Pepsi. They had Dr. Pepper, which is fine. Anyway, had a Ghost, had a red Sour Patch Kid flavor one, and it was fucking mind blowing. So anyway, I like posted about it, and I swear to God, I had like 15 messages. Like swear to God, of people that
put it on the storefront. Damn. See, anytime someone asks you for something
that's your link,
on the storefront,
not mine. Well, anyway, it is. It's just funny.
We'll
and like, I had multiple people that like the following few days, oh, I bought this because you said something about it. And it's just funny because like I bought it and I just said that it tasted really good, really for no purpose. But people get into that stuff and it just explains why the supplement industry is massive, why products in general and selling things on the internet, massive, because it's like people want to consume and people want to buy shit. That's just what they want to do.
Well, and I think, part of social media is like, even though you're not an influencer, you have a good following, like, and people trust you. So like if you say something is good, they're going to try it. Like, I mean, I posted something yesterday and I was like, hey, if you want to know why you should do this, because I'm constantly experimenting with social media and see how I can interact with people. But so it's like, hey, if you want to know why like this movement is good for you, read the caption, because I wrote like more in detail. And this guy literally just wrote back, he's like, I don't need to read the caption, I trust you.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. So like to the same point, like someone's just gonna be like, hey,
no, you're right.
Erika says this is good, cool, I'm gonna drink it.
No, you're right. You're like doing the work for them. And I just find that really fascinating. And to your point of when people are asking you like what's something in the background of your whatever the fuck is, or the time I like posted our like little walking pad for like 4 seconds, I like posted a picture of like my shoes. And I think a corner of the treadmill was like in the photo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And people, like 10 people, what's the walking pad? I'm like, I don't know. It was on it. I just personally would go to Amazon and like look for something myself, maybe. Right. But it's just interesting what people do. There's no right or wrong. It's just interesting what people do. So
I mean, I guess it's part of like seeing like an actual human, because there's so much stuff you can't trust anymore either. Yeah. Like just because someone gets a review, it's not necessarily like trustworthy. Like you could pay someone for that review, or you could have had a bot do it or whatever. So like to actually know that you're an actual live human walking on this thing and you think it's good, like probably goes a long way.
Yeah, that's true. It's so fascinating. So maybe some golf fitness products in our future, or maybe something totally off the wall like that we come up with that we'll sell one day.
Now I'm thinking, because people are willing to the people are willing to buy stuff much faster than, because like a fitness program is like actually like not even like tangible, right? Like it's just a thing on a piece of paper. Then you've got to do the hard work.
It's the hardest thing about this industry, and I've always said that to you as we have our business
I'm selling something you probably you don't want to do. You want the outcome from what I'm selling you,
right?
But like the people always talk about this when I'm training them in person. It's like, oh man, and I pay you for this, like, cause like they're suffering on the ground, or like they're doing something hard, and they're like, this sucks, or they woke up really early to come like train, and they're like, man, I can't believe I pay you all this money for this. And I'm like, hey. That is the tough part of the job.
It's the tough part of the industry, though. And as business owners, and we've been doing fitness and selling fitness for decades, literally, it's the hardest thing. And I always say this to I used to say this to Ella back when we would talk business a lot, and she's an esthetician in the DC area, but like if you think about beauty and getting facials and getting whatever, lasers and getting all the things that we do for our like self that is service industry, what makes it so different from fitness is like I'm going to get pampered, I get to lay down, it's
Right.
relaxing. So yes, they have a lot of the same issues of people canceling and all the bullshit that you kind of have to deal with in the service space or moving people around on your books and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, I have to sell people their results, which by the way are worth way more than the $150 an hour that we charge. Like your health is 100% worth that.
Mm-hmm.
But it involves like making sacrifice and showing up for yourself and doing work when you come. So it's
Right.
like, it's just a different thing to sell to people. And so again, like we can sell $29 a month workout programs, which we do, that include like nutrition support and community support and coaching support, like, which is so fucking like mind blowing compared to what we used to sell for people on one-on-one coaching, $100 to $200 plus
Mhm.
for a service. But still people like don't want to, they would literally rather buy a $7 energy drink. That's
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's just what it is. That's the, like the reality of what it is. And so proving to people or explaining to people or helping them understand what something is worth, you know, in a really good fitness program or a really good coach it's hard.
Yeah. And I think that's why products like, because you can order it, you can touch it, you can feel it, you know. But then like fitness products, for example, then you have to like if it's a band or if it's a Golf Forever stick or whatever it is that you're going to buy, you still have to like, then the hard part is you actually have to do the things they tell you to do with the thing.
Yes.
Like you're going to pay for that. Plus you're going to, you know, pay with your time to figure out how to do this shit.
Well, not even
And that's the hard
figuring it
part.
out. I mean, look at Peloton. Like they've taken a complete tank. They have built a brand for decades. They've been around for a really long time and they built a really cool brand. But then it's like it wears out really, really fast. I mean,
Right.
the life cycle of certain things. So it's like, yeah, people are cool. Like that's cool and sexy. Obviously blew up during the pandemic when it was all people could do. And it was like, oh, cool. I can get this workout in and connect with people, whatever. But then it's like, I'm kind of over this. I'm done having to do the work. I have this $2,500 bike now that I'm trying to sell on the internet and I can't get rid of it.
Right.
And it's taking up space and now it's just holding my clothes.
Right. And I think
So-
people like rather just, they would love to just buy something or buy a product that's going to get them a result. When in fitness, like you don't really, until you've gone through the fitness journey, you don't realize that the journey was actually what it was all about.
Right. Yeah, totally.
So I think that's a good lead into what our topic is today,
Which
I'm
is-
actually very excited about this topic because there's so many things we can talk about, and hopefully we can keep this under the hour time cap we put on our podcast. But it's about training splits. So a training split, and the way we're going to talk about it is like what you do during like each session that you go into the gym, and how you break apart like your training week, right? So and there's so many different ways we can go about it. I mean, the most popular one, I think what I'd like to do here in this little segment is kind of talk about like each one of them, like maybe like the most popular ones, and like kind of break them down, and like we'll kind of just go back and forth on what we know about them, pros and cons, and why they work for some people and why they don't. But the overall like thing I want to like mention to people is like you need to pick the training split that's going to work for your lifestyle and your goals, right? So the most popular one, we'll start with like the one that everyone talks about, is like leg day, back day, arm day, chest day. It's the good old fashioned bodybuilding split. So who is this for, right? Like, I don't know, have you ever done like a bodybuilding split? Have
No,
have you ever done the whole like back
No,
day,
this
leg
will be
day,
good
arm day?
because we both have really different like viewpoints of like workout
And experiences.
splits. Do people like legitimately still, please exclude like the people that we see at Lifetime. I guess maybe don't exclude them.
Why would I exclude them? Because
Is that the majority of people doing these types of splits?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think and I think that they actually think that's one of the only ways to do it. And then people that write me, they're like, oh yeah, I put that move in my leg day. Like when I posted, I don't want to keep talking about like what people tell me on social media, but that really is like a part of like what I think is out there.
Well, it's also how we're interacting with
That's how I
people right
interact
now.
with people, and I
Yeah.
interact with a lot of people on social media. So,
Yeah.
I posted just in my story doing a Bulgarian split squat or rear foot elevated split squat, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. And this guy like wrote me. He's like, oh, here's how I put it in my leg day, and it was this insane way to do it that would destroy your legs. But anyway, so like, yeah, that's still out there. People still are like, that's what I put in my leg day. Oh, this is great for arm day, or so on and so forth.
I guess the reason I asked that question, let me just, because I think this is important. I literally only see people doing upper body like 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I ask you that, and maybe this is talking about the splits and why we think that that's not the best way to do it. Is it because people kind of skip leg day the most because they're we know that leg day is the hardest. Like, I'm just going to come out there and say it. Leg day is the hardest. It's the biggest muscle groups. Therefore, it's the hardest, which makes it the most bang for your buck. But people don't do it because it's a lot easier to just bend your elbow and do a bicep curl and a tricep extension. That's my take on arm day and leg day. But is that like, do you think that there's people, is it just me? Like, I just don't think there's a lot of dudes specifically doing legs at the gym. They're just not. And they're all doing ab exercises on the floor. And I see the same guys doing the same ones in
there's a couple guys
the
in there
wrong way.
Yeah.
And they're all doing the same shit over and over and over again. And they've got dad bods. I'm just going to come out and say it. You can't judge everybody. I'm not saying you go into the gym and profile every single person, but after you're there for several months with the same people and you're noticing that their body is literally the same, you're like, you just wonder, like, why are you spinning your wheels doing the same movements the incorrect way?
Right.
Like, I need to know.
Yeah. So I think that it's funny. Like, I do feel like that women will skip upper body day or arm day or something like that because they don't want big bulky arms, and then men skip leg day. It's just got because it's hard.
It's because it's hard. They got to know that their body
and they don't. It doesn't feel good.
Ridiculous.
They're like, oh, I'd rather pump up my chest or my shoulders or my back or something instead.
Dudes, you look ridiculous without glutes and without leg muscles. It's obscene. Like, it's literally absurd. I'm just speaking because I know who our audience is and whatever. Like, they'll hear me out, but it's like, please don't skip leg day for the love of God.
Mm-hmm.
For the love of God, it does not look good when you've got these weird, just overdeveloped biceps that I'm sure that's what you look at in the mirror and you think that looks cool, but all it looks like is that's all you do in the gym, and then there's just a lot. There's a lot going on. And then but again, you wonder why you have lower back pain. It's because you got no glutes. You have no idea how to fire your hips. Your squats look absolutely obscene in your New Balance or Skechers shoes. Like, help these guys out. How do we help these people? How do we tell them not to skip leg day?
So, well, okay. Someone's fired up about this shit.
I'm having
I wanted to talk
moment.
more about the splits themselves, but we just went right into why bros
All
skip
right.
leg day.
We'll
but
go back to the splits.
No, they definitely. It's just because it's hard, and I mean, granted, I did see a guy doing leg day yesterday. He was doing the full like squat, deadlift, hamstring curl, calf raise, leg extension.
Okay, like a very traditional leg day.
Yeah, very much so. So yeah, and I think typically, like, because I used to do this stuff, and like it was always like leg day would be like on Friday, right? So it's like I think it'd be like chest and tris, back and bis. Those are always like you can always remember that. And then usually Thursdays was like shoulders. Maybe you skipped Wednesday, maybe not. Maybe you broke it out even more. Maybe it was chest day, back day. Leg day should probably fall like on Wednesday. Then you got like shoulders, and then arms should be on Friday. That should probably be like how it goes without leg day being on Monday. But anyways, it's like those are like how people break it down. But yeah, so like maybe Friday would be like why they skip leg day. But no, I mean at Lifetime in particular, I mean it's the dumbbell racks are full, the bench, the squat racks are empty. The women are over there.
Yes, they are.
But not the men. Like there was a girl today, like doing deadlifts, then she was doing curtsy lunges, then she did the what was she doing? Then she bust out the landmine, did like single leg deadlifts. I mean, she was hammering her legs, and women will. And then there's another group of women on the leg prep. But anyways, so that's your traditional split. And why do bodybuilders do that, right? And I just said it's bodybuilders. They do it because they can take each muscle to like absolute like fatigue, and they can beat it up, and they can have it grow and things like that, because that's what they're going for. They're trying to get like as most like tissue like damage as they possibly can get for each muscle. And then they're going to come in the next day and hit a different muscle and do that again. And then hopefully like by the time it comes back next week, that muscle is like recovered, because they're going to beat it to shit. And that's why a golfer, that's a terrible way for you to train, because if you're just going to wreck your chest, go try to swing a golf club after wrecking your chest. It's not going to be your best swing.
Right.
So yeah, they skip leg day for probably a wide variety of reasons. I would say the overarching one is because it's hard and it's uncomfortable.
Yes. Yeah, and I do think that women can do. We have strong legs. That's a thing. I'm sure you've seen that in the people that you've trained. I mean, again, we know that women have way stronger legs than they do upper bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So we also tend to favor the things, again, that we like to do more. So again, you see women doing legs because it's like, oh, glutes, blah 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 blah, and like not wanting to do a lot of upper body. And the same with guys is like, yes, it's hard to do legs, but also like arms, shoulders, arms. And it's like, all right, well.
When
Okay.
women can, I read the study a long time ago, so who knows if it's even like accurate anymore, that women can handle a lot more volume in their legs.
Yes.
And
That's why they're better.
And up to like, I think it was like a woman can do like almost like 60% of what a man can do with their legs or something like that, or 70% or something. Like, it's a very like high percentage versus like the upper body is a very low percentage.
Right.
It's like only like 20 or 30%.
Right.
Of what a man can do with their upper body.
Right.
And like women can just do way more. And women are just tougher, so they can just handle hammering out a leg day and being in the suck zone.
Yes.
Way more than a man can.
Yes. That's true. And it's something, the study is something around it's volume. So
Yeah.
it's like why, like, you know, female endurance athletes too tend to like
Hang in there.
they hang in because
Yeah.
they can just take it.
Yeah.
Truly, their bodies are just physically able to.
Right.
Which we were put on this earth to be able to
Move.
and to suffer.
Yeah. So there's your old fashioned like bodybuilding split. And that one I mean, it's literally called a bodybuilder split because it's for people that just want to train their physique. I don't think, and I don't know, like I haven't, worked with people that do like bodybuilding competitions, but I wonder if like they taper off like before they go do a competition, because you do get so sore during your bodybuilding workouts that they do have to like go up on stage and flex. But that was just a random thought in my head. And so now let's kind of talk more about the more like performance training splits, if you will, that can also like kind of be like a hybrid of like people that are here for physique and things like that versus straight up performance. And now you got like what we used to do when we first started dating was we did push pull, which is total body workouts, just pushing. Like day one was pushing movement. So you're thinking like we were doing like squats, lunges, chest press, overhead press. So any kind of like just pushing movement and pushing from the floor, because we're counting like the squat and the lunge is like a push from the floor. And then we would follow that up the next day with pulling exercises. So it'd be deadlift, row, pull up, hamstring curls. Did we even do that? We just did the big three. We just did 3 big lifts every day.
Yeah, we just did 3 pull-ups and deadlifts were the big ones for pull and row, barbell row. And then every time we worked out, depending on how much time, we would sometimes add in like an accessory,
like a hamstring
pulling.
curl or a bicep curl or something like that.
Or we would, but also we would do, I remember we would do like sled pulls or something, like a little more power, like at the end. That was like a pulling type of thing.
So that's a good one.
And then we would do like a box jump on the squat day or something like that.
Right.
Which to this day I still train kind of like that.
Right. and then you have like your and then I think kind of what you do now is like upper body, lower body days, right?
2 upper and 2 lower body.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm much more of a fan of either one of those versus like the bodybuilder split, because I think one of the things that when you've been in the training field and training actual humans that are not like professional athletes or just people that want to improve their lives is things come up in their lives. For a host of reasons. They have kids, they have a job, they have a life, right, outside of the gym. So like if you're going to ask somebody to do a bodybuilding split, even if you broke it down to like a 4-day split or even a 3-day split, something may come up for one of those days. And now say if it is leg day, what are you going to do? You miss leg day that week. And then your schedule's all fucked up. And then if you're going to try to hit that leg day, now it's on Monday. And then now you've got a makeup day, or something, you're just going to miss it. You're going to miss a whole body part. And if it's leg day, it's the whole half of your body, the most important half. Now, if you do upper body, lower body, or if you at least do push pull, if you can get in 2 days, you've hit everything. Right. So that's what I really like to train people. If I'm going to see them a couple times a week, it's one of those, right? Or like I do total body now, where it's like, it's a mixture of like, I like to even break it down even further, where like I'm doing, and this is how Lift Heavy Swing Fast is programmed for those that are really like looking into it. And if you want to kind of know a little bit behind the scenes of my thought process, it's usually like I like to break up push, pull, upper body, lower body. So what I mean by that is like day one is like lower body push and upper body pull. So like I've really like kind of taken those two, like push, pull, and upper body, lower body day, and kind of like chopped them both in half and like, you know, made like put them on top of each other essentially. So, and then the next day will be, you know, lower body pull, upper body push. Did I say that right?
People get it.
Oh, yeah, you get it. So that's a little bit behind the scenes. So like that way, if you at least get 2 workouts in, you've hit everything. And so just for, you know, people out there that you have a life, your life is not the gym, you know, like us, where like we are fitness people, like it takes a lot for us to miss our workouts because this is what we do. And we don't have kids and stuff like that. So that's the way I really recommend people training for that reason. And if you're training to be an athlete, you're, you know, like a golfer or whatever it is that you're training to be, we don't like need to segment like each part of our body like a bodybuilder.
Well, I was going to say, like, what, you know, we're not serving people that are doing bicep day. That's
Right.
just not what our goals are, or
Right.
our clients' goals.
We're serving people that are using their entire body in each thing that they're doing.
That's right.
So that's why we program it the way we do. And then we also, I could dive deeper into all that, but that's not for this episode. That's just for how we train, how we break it up into splits, and why that is like the most like attainable way for you to hit every part of your body, hit the big muscle groups, get the big compound lifts in there that are going to have the most bang for your buck. And then like each subsequent day is like, you know, just, maybe a little accessory or a little extra.
Yes.
That's how I like to do it. And that's what Lift Heavy Swing Fast is like. And my other programs that we sell. And then what I program for people. Cause like, you know, I program a lot of people that do play a lot of golf, or they're very active and they get out there and do a lot of things.
Well, yeah. And I think that's an important thing to talk about. And I want to bring up 2 things is that, you know, we definitely are programming for people that are playing golf, also programming for people that play another sport or do another activity, which like, I feel like we get to that phase in our life. I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, where you're either like a competitive athlete for a while, or, you know, you're just, when you're in your 20s and you don't have as many responsibilities, you can train and you compete and you travel places on the weekends and go do your shit, your sport, whatever that it is. And then when you get older, you do have the responsibilities, but you also want to like, your priorities legitimately change. Like you're living your life, and maybe you still want an active lifestyle. So these families, you're going out for like long walks. I feel like we do family walks, or like people want to go out for the weekend, but they do hiking or they do mountain biking. Like they're just, you get to a point where you're in a new phase of not necessarily being competitive, but still active. And so it's important in our clients' worlds that they're able to go out and play golf and have time for like that other stuff too. And that it's just not always about being in the gym 24/7.
Right.
The other thing that I think, to your point of why you like the splits the way that you do them and Lift Heavy Swing Fast, is that compound lifts hit all of the muscle groups. And generally speaking, like, I mean, we can talk about each individual compound lift, which we don't have to, but as a result of just back squatting heavy, like your upper body will develop and get stronger. Like you don't necessarily have to isolate these smaller muscle groups in order to get a good physique, which we've talked about over and over again. When you're training for performance, when you're doing the compound lifts, which back to like the dudes skipping leg day. Like when I started working out with you and we were doing push pull, we were doing that twice a week, my body started to change like pretty quickly. I mean, that was plenty of volume for someone who hadn't done heavy lifting before. I remember my arms developing when we were deadlifting. Like when you're pulling 180 pounds, which for me was a lot back in the beginning, I remember that being like so much weight. And it is a lot of weight. But it's like, holy shit, like my arms are developing, like they're getting stronger in a way. And I used to like lift weights and stuff. It wasn't like I was brand new, but it was like, oh shit, like I'm getting stronger in like a lot of different ways. And so having to like spend the extra time of doing 5-day splits or whatever and like getting every muscle group, like that's why we preach the compound lifts, because they really do give you the best bang for your buck among so many other reasons, but they will give you results all over your body, and it's not just a leg movement. It's a full body exercise.
I mean, yeah, because it's got to hold the apparatus or whatever that you're actually putting the resistance on. So like your arms holding a deadlift aren't just sitting by like, oh, hey, this is a glute and hamstring exercise. Like my arms aren't going to do anything. Although something has to hold on to this hundreds of pounds that is moving around. It's not just attached to our body somehow. Like we're gripping it. We're pulling our shoulders back. Like we're engaging our lats, our core. That's a total body exercise.
Total body exercise. And for
Right.
anybody who's never done these exercises, all you have to literally do is those movements. We could do a whole workout and just do the squat for an hour. We used to do that. I mean, we used to
spent
deadlift
2
for like an hour. I mean, we did that because we were like dating and it was fun. We would share the bar. So we would like be on, plus working out with you, doing deadlift, weight changing. Like we would change the plates like over and over again, like back and forth, which was like work.
Yeah. I remember we had to deadlift. We could usually get like 2 bars,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Like we could like, so we'd
Squatting.
set them side by side. It was the squat rack, especially at the Glover Park gym in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, because there was like one.
There was one squat rack and we had to change them. And there were the big iron plates, which obviously weigh more than rubber plates do.
Yes, they definitely do. For anybody that works out, they know the metal clanky ones are way heavier than bumper plates.
Ironically, though, they actually weigh less
Because they like get chipped off.
because they
and
get chipped
shit.
off. Like, so if you
Yes.
actually, I worked with a guy. This is just kind of a off. Well, it's on subject, but anyways, I worked with this guy in Washington D.C. He was like a former Navy SEAL, like absolute badass. And he wanted it, and he was like 55 years old, and he wanted to know exactly how much weight he lifted. I mean, he needed to know to like the decimal point how much weight was on the bar because he was trying to get just a little bit stronger every week. And we're talking like a pound, like, and sometimes less. He had fractional weights and everything. So he like had this, he had a certain system where he went around and weighed every single 45-pound plate, and he had he put a little mark on it. And it was like very hidden, and you had
You
no.
never told me about this.
I didn't.
I don't remember.
I'm sure I told you the story, but anyways, so like he had it like he put a little, and he had a little system. It was like an X or like a 1 line or whatever to like say if it was 43.5 pounds. I think he rounded enough. I don't think he like went super specific, but it was like 43.5 pounds, 44, and like none of them were actually 45 pounds.
Right.
They were all like, and I think one was even like 40 pounds.
Yep.
So like you could walk up to him and be like, hey, like, what are you deadlifting today? And he'd give you some ridiculous number, be like 176.8 or 176.5 or something like that, you know, or 376. He was a very strong guy. I think he got up to like 500 pounds. So anyways, it was a big number, but it was like a big, like, but very precise number. And that was wild. Like that guy taught me a lot. And he was the one who like, this was a cool guy. Like his training style was like, I'm only here to make people stronger and faster. He's like, do not set me up with anyone that wants to lose weight, or if all they care about is physique. He's like, all we're going to do is strength train. And that's all he did.
Mm-hmm.
He came in and sometimes he would come in for like 45 minutes to an hour and just deadlift and leave.
Yeah.
That was it. That was
That's
his workout for the day.
But that's a workout.
And he was a badass. Like this guy, like, I mean, so this was how long ago? This was like 7-8 years ago. But I knew this guy. So he's like, I guess he'd be 60 something now, and he would whoop anyone's ass that I've probably ever met. Like this guy was a badass.
So he
like,
just
super
trained.
strong.
He was a trainer there?
Well,
he just-
so the whole story goes like, all right, so I was a fitness manager, so like I ran a gym. So just so people get a little background. So one thing that happens when you run a gym is that other trainers that are not employed by your gym will come in and try to train people on your gym floor and not like pay the company, right? Like we have trainers that are hired to train people for money that goes to the company. Anyway, so like it's called under the table training. Anyways, I was pretty sure that's what he was doing. So I worked out next to him and this guy one day that he was like training, but you can get away with it by saying that it's just your training buddy. You're just working out with him, right? That's always like the excuse. And so I took my headphones. I had my headphones in, but I wasn't playing anything. I could hear what they were doing. And he was literally like training the guy, like coaching him. And they were talking about their next session and payment and stuff like that. So like I had the guy like dead to rights. And so instead of like confronting him and like kicking him out of the gym, I realized like how good he was. So I offered him a job and he accepted and stuff like that. But he wasn't really into it. Like he wanted to kind of do his own thing, but he went into like going by the corporate rules of the gym. But anyways, this is the guy, like I learned so much from this guy. And but yeah, like so the weight plates thing like always sticks in my mind. So like when you see like the metal ones, and I'm not talking like the rubber coated ones, I think those are like the metal ones that are rubber coated that have the handles, like I think those are probably still pretty legit. But if you find like some good old fashioned like iron ones, and if you look around it's chipped or something, it probably doesn't weigh exactly 45 pounds.
Yeah, duh.
So if you want to impress some people, you know, just go grab those and throw them on your bar, and no one will know that your 315 is probably more like 295.
Okay, that's a big jump. I mean, who
No,
knows?
I mean, all right. So 315 has 6 plates, 3 45-pound plates, and we found some that were like as low as like 40 pounds. So now you're talking like 5 pounds per 6 plates. That's 30 pounds that could be off.
That seems crazy. Anyway, how did
But
we
this
get
is
to
obviously a guy that wasn't there for ego lifting, right? Like he only cared about the actual weight on the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's what people should do. I don't know how we got off on that. Just how much time we used to go spending just deadlifting.
Well, yeah, and again, it's still to this day, if I'm feeling like I'm following my program or whatever, and I'm just either short on time or just not feeling like wanting to do a ton of accessory work, it's like, and we talked about this before, but like if I do the compound lifts, if I do this part A, I'm gonna be this is a workout. Like I'm gonna get all of my body parts that I need to get in. Like it's I can spend 40 minutes on this and just take my time. Or if I'm just feeling like a little bit slower or whatever, that's a workout.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating. It's a hard mindset to get over when you come from a performance background or training or overtraining or whatever, or needing to fill a certain amount of time. But when you get comfortable with like, when you realize over time, like, oh my gosh, I'm sore from just doing that workout, or oh my gosh, like I'm getting results, or oh, I'm still getting stronger by just doing that. Like you're just like, oh, well, that's all I need to be doing. It's just the whole minimum effective dose thing too. But
right. Yeah, and I get that a lot too. Some people, when they see like the Lift Heavy Swing Fast program on paper, they're like, oh, that's not enough of this that I want or something like that. And I'm like, just try it. You know, just, you know, if you've kind of developed this thing in your brain, like this is the stimulus I need and the stimulus is absolute total fatigue, then maybe my program isn't for you. But if your number one goal is results, then it is.
yes,
Because you can get great results with like the dosing effect, like you said, like minimum dosing to like get these results. And that's really what I want, you know, especially for athletes, because your main goal is to perform your sport better, not just perform in the gym better.
yes,
So like, yeah, that's definitely something that someone sees, because like, oh man, you know, I'm used to, you only put bench press in there once a week, or you only put like one like overhead press or something for my shoulders. And like, and the one I get most common is there's no bicep curls in this program. Sometimes there is, but not all the time. So like I get that one a lot. Like, what am I gonna do for my arms? I'm like, just try it. Do some pull-ups, do some rows. You'll see.
yes,
So like, oh, that's not enough. That's not enough for me. Like I'm this hardcore guy. And then I've got that like multiple times. Like, hey, I'm hardcore. Like I go 6 days a week. I do CrossFit, you know, shit like that. And then sure enough, they sign up for Lift Heavy Swing Fast. And then it shows me like how much each person does, you know, the workout. And like I program 5 workouts a week. And I think still our best, like I think only about 10 people. And we got over 100 something people now that do Lift Heavy Swing Fast. And only like 10 people have ever finished like all 5 workouts in a week.
Which is like,
so,
I mean, that's telling.
which is what we want. Like, I mean,
Totally.
that's why, you know, we provide like more value than like what people are paying for. Like, you know, it's there for you if you want it. I don't think if you're a busy person, if you can get 2 or 3 days, you're set.
You're totally set. Your workouts are probably going to be even better and higher quality instead of just checking the box because you're fatigued or you're overtrained and you're not recovering. You're going to literally have better results 99 times out of 100, probably all times, honestly. If your results are to just go to failure and be tired, then that's a different type of workout program. But
and then if you like really think you need that, like, and you sign up for like, and I don't want to sit here and just try to like plug my program all the time. Like whatever program it is you're doing, like if you think you need more volume and you're a golfer, I would say like your volume should come from getting on the rower, walking, you know, something like that. Like don't just beat yourself to shit, doing more like med ball slams or just stuff like that. That's really just going to beat your body up. Like if you think you need to be totally exhausted, do cardio.
or do some talk therapy and kind of unpack why you need to beat yourself up and what you're running away from. Seriously. What cortisol high you're chasing every day. What do you need that for?
Yeah. Just do some, that and just low intensity, like go walk.
Go for a walk, get some sunshine, walk your dog.
Yeah.
Put out a podcast. Get out in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make yourself better in another way.
Yes.
And if you're a golfer, go play golf.
Go play some golf. It's
go
summertime.
putt. Go get on the putting green.
Yes.
Be
Productive. Don't distract yourself with the need to like push and be hardcore and whatever else the mantras are out there that people are out there.
And like
promoting.
and then also like golfers too, like you can just grab your golf club and make some swings without hitting a ball. It's like, oh well, I can't make it to the driving range. I only got like 20 minutes, like, you know, or I got 5 minutes. I need to do something. Like you can make some putting strokes. You can putt the ball. You can make some slow motion swings without actually hitting a ball. what was it? Lanny Watkins like famously said something about like, you know, I wish I would have spent more time like not hitting a golf ball and practicing my golf swing without hitting a golf ball. Because then you can actually just work on your swing and not worry about
where it's gonna go.
Yeah, like the outcome of your swing, and then you like kind of put yourself in a certain environment to like, okay, well, I have to hit the ball. Like, you know, when I was like playing with like that downshift board, it's like I was actually doing better until I introduced the ball.
Yes.
And then then I tried it again, and I don't know if downshift Jeff listens to this, but and he's like, shut up, dude, don't talk about not hitting the ball. But you know, like what I found better doing was like, you know, like I was doing the practice with it, and then if I just jumped off the thing and then I hit a ball, like so like I kind of like separated the two. So like, you know, you can go practice. You can even practice your putting stroke without hitting a ball. You go real slow, like, you know, and then definitely like take your driver out there and swing fast, like without hitting a ball. You know, see how fast you can swing. Because the ball is just going to provide you like some feedback. You're going to think you're fucking it up when your goal for just swinging fast, like is just to get your brain to actually swing faster and like create this new like movement pattern.
Yep.
Or just this faster movement pattern, not necessarily a new movement pattern. It's already your swing. You're trying to do that swing faster. So yeah, there's what you can do instead of being like, oh, there's not enough arms in this program. I need to go I need to go hammer out some curls real quick or whatever. It's like, no, let's give it a shot.
Give it a shot. See what happens when you do things differently than you have been doing them for a long time. Give your body the chance to experience something new.
Exactly. And like that can go for a lot of exercises. Like what I just see. I've seen multiple people today and I just talk a lot of experience from, and like a lot of my tweets is like stuff from that I see like in lifetime, like over and over again. That I'm like, yeah, it's like gives me a lot of
inspiration.
Yeah. And like, so one of the real popular ones is people that put the foam roller like right here on their IT band and like roll like right, like where's the camera? Okay. So it's over there. It's like when you put the IT band right here, like right below your hip, and it's on the side of your leg, right? So it's a band, and like foam rolling it is worthless, and it will always hurt. So like people are like, oh, this must be good because it always hurts. It's like, have you not fucking learned that like since it always hurts, like it's not doing anything for you? Like, I mean, a squat's always going to hurt because it's hard, and you're putting different weight on the bar, so you see the progression. But if you're using the same foam roller in the same spot and it still hurts and it's like right here and like you haven't noticed any improvement, stop.
It's crazy, isn't it?
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about the ab bro some other time, but yeah, there's just.
We could we're going to do a whole episode on crunches and abs.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's a good.
All right, we'll save it then.
Yeah, because we could both kind of unpack that for a really long time.
Can we wait till my cut's over so like I can show like that I have abs too?
Did you have anything else to talk about with splits? We should update folks on where we're at with our body composition, but did we go? No,
did we cover? So we covered bodybuilding, total body, and why, you know, the pros and the. I mean, I think we covered enough of it.
Yeah, we went on some good tangents actually. Hopefully that.
Yeah, do you want to like recap it or?
Yeah, why don't we do a little recap, like a little too long didn't read. Okay.
So your bodybuilding splits, right, are strictly for people who, maybe not strictly, but in my opinion, strictly, you listen to my podcast, so it's my opinion, is for people that are just want body composition goals only, right? You can beat up each one of your muscles. Probably will be the most way you can maximize actual muscle growth and like hypertrophy of the muscle. So like just actual enlargement of muscle size would probably be coming from like a bodybuilder type split. Now you need to be able to commit to however many days is programmed. You won't find me programming a bodybuilding workout, but you know, you need to be able to commit to it, or else you're going to miss an entire body part if you can't do 3, 4, 5 days, whatever the program is. So that's the big con of that, is that you could totally miss multiple muscle groups without doing total body exercises. Couple of the popular like 2-day options are your pushing movements and your pulling movements, or upper and lower body. Those are great if you can commit to 2 workouts at least, 2 to 4, you know. So awesome there. Pushing and pulling is what I have a lot of familiarity with, because that's total body, right? Because you're hitting your legs and your upper body, both workouts. And then upper and lower, you know, that could just be like preference, or I know a lot of really good people that program upper and lower body and do a really good job with that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's easier because now you'll like to not miss anything. You just got to hit 2 days.
Yep.
And then you do what I do and kind of just do like mix it all up, because I'm training specifically athletes who I want to make sure I can utilize their strength and their power in each session, and then finish with like some accessory stuff or conditioning. And that's what you'll see like in Lift Heavy Swing Fast is a lot of, it's all total body every single time, mobility, strength, power, because now we're doing contrast training in season. So it's like, a strength movement immediately followed by like a power movement. So we got like a squat immediately followed by like a jump or something like that. Using similar muscle groups to really maximize speed and power that people need during in season in golf, and still get them gains throughout golf season. A lot of things right now in golf fitness are all about like summer maintenance and shit. I think we can still I know we can still make some gains during in season. In season training is super important. We don't just do off season and then strictly maintenance. We can still make gains.
Yeah.
And our athletes in Lift Heavy Swing Fast are
good
and playing lights out.
Yep.
So got one of our guys, I mean, several people in Lift Heavy Swing Fast are doing US Open qualifiers right now. So good luck to all of them.
This weekend?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're in process right now doing
Cool.
US Open qualifiers.
Good luck to them.
Yeah. I mean, anyone can go to a US Open qualifier, but I think these guys are actually legit. But yeah, so there's kind of like our wrap up, like, there's why I program the way I do for athletes. If you are just wanting to look good, maybe the bodybuilding split is for you. Probably upper lower body if you're like a normal person that has a life and responsibilities and kids and a job and a dog and a house and all that stuff. So that wrap it up.
Yeah, that was a
I
great
get lost.
wrap-up.
Like you're here to like always like bring me back. Like,
No, I think that was
I don't know
great.
where I went with that.
No, that was great. Take care of your bodies. Get your rest days in. That's something else that we promote. Not necessarily a split related conversation, but more of just your recovery days in.
It actually does come to splits because, the way we program Lift Heavy Swing Fast is to have the rest days like strategically placed in there so they can come back and be strong and powerful each workout, which is a part of a split.
Yes, true.
Now bodybuilding split, like, I don't know how you really do rest days. You can probably just get away with like one.
I'm not going to speak to that because I've never trained that way.
Maybe we'll get Dr. Jeff on here one day. We'll ask him.
Yeah, we should have him on here. But well, cool.
All right, you want to start with your what you can't get out of your head or what you're obsessed with? Or?
I'm obsessed with the Ninja Creamy. I just bought one. I'm sure it's trending everywhere on the interwebs, and I'm just again like with Ghost, I'm just learning about it.
So what is Ninja Creamy?
Ninja Creamy makes ice cream. It's an ice cream maker.
And why is it? And this is the first ice cream maker in history, or like why are we sold on the Ninja Creamy?
Because it makes cool ice cream things. I got sold on it on the internet last night on the Instagrams, because I guess it's now hit the bodybuilding space probably, or like the fitness space, and so people can make really yummy, creamy blended ice creams at home.
Protein ice creams
out of like protein powders and cottage cheese and all kinds of. I'm gonna try it all.
Can you do it with my Greek yogurt?
I mean, I've had a Vitamix for a long time and have made pretty like thick smoothies and stuff like this. But I do believe this seems to do it a little differently. I've done some research, but I think like you basically put the container in the freezer for 24 hours, and then when you put it in the back in the creamy, it blends it a certain way to make it the texture of like ice cream. You can put in like Oreos and Butterfinger bits and stuff like that in there and make up like your own concoctions of like, high protein ice cream, like, desserts.
Now, is that going to have like all the seed oils and like terrible things that are going to kill us?
Seed oils?
I don't know. That's what I just see like on the Instagram all the time. I was like, oh, these seed oils are going to kill you.
Oh, the wellness space. That's also a whole nother fucking podcast that we'll just have to take the reins on that and debunk all the bullshit. But no, so the Ninja Creamy, and it's like literally so hard to find, and it's like sold out everywhere, but we have ours on the way. It should be here in like, it said 1 to 2 weeks.
What?
I know.
1 to 2 weeks?
That's the best that I could do. It was sold out on Costco. It was sold out on their website. It was sold out on, Bed Bath & Beyond's like going out of business. So all their shit was like final sale, and also they were out of everything.
Oh, I thought we were going to be eating ice cream this weekend.
I mean, who knows? Like, I think they say that, and Amazon says that. And then what they do sometimes, anytime they say that, it sometimes comes like a lot faster. Anytime they say something's coming in 1 to 2 days, they lie, and it takes like a week. But I feel like it'll come here. It'll come here soon. Stay tuned.
I thought I was going to be eating ice cream and like.
I'll make you something out of the Vitamix.
Oh, let's go to Andy's.
That's a little different. I was shooting for like a 350 calorie, like big ice cream with a bunch of protein in it instead of like 1400 calorie concretes that we get at Andy's.
Yeah, I can't right now. I'm cutting. So.
Yeah, we're doing good. What are you obsessed with this week?
Well, we actually decided we're going to turn it into a podcast, the ab thing. So I got something else I'd like to talk about. So I need to like kind of go back and say, like, you know, several podcasts ago, I can't remember when I said this, but I really ripped on people doing like kettlebell flows.
Oh God.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for what are you going to say about it this time?
So I don't know if like the algorithm or whatever like heard me say that and like has been feeding me a ton of like kettlebell flows. And so
no, I went over to your phone when you were sleeping at night. You know, have you seen those videos where
oh yeah, like you whisper into it like
husband therapy? It's
yeah.
like so funny.
Yeah. Loves mowing grass.
Diamond rings.
Mows grass, does dishes. No, but anyway, so I don't know. I've been getting a lot of them, and then like I couldn't avoid them, so I actually started watching some of them, and then I was like, well, shit. I was like, some of these are like actually like, pretty good for like golfers.
Now you're coming out with a whole new kettlebell program.
No. I mean, but you know, I have been like playing around, like doing some of these like movements. Now, like flow is like kind of where you like put a bunch of movements together. And it's like it's almost like choreographed, like especially if you watch like the ones that are like bloopers and shit, like where they're like there's like three guys that are trying to get it all together and then they mess it up. They got to start all over again, which just looks absolutely exhausting. But yeah, so like I've been putting a few movements together, and I'm like, oh, this actually does like, and instead of like doing like 12 movements all in one flow, I do like 2.
Yeah,
and
so it's not like a choreography hodgepodge of bullshit.
No, which I just don't think the normal person has any time to try to remember that shit. Like, right. You know, like we'll learn. They're trying to learn how to do like one movement, and like especially with a kettlebell, they're trying to do like the kettlebell swing or something like that. They're trying to or goblet squat. They're trying to learn how to do that. So like for the lay person, like this is not something you should try. But like, you know, I've been getting into it a little bit, so like I kind of, you know, wanted to like go back and say, hey, you know, like, you know, maybe I was a little off. Like, you know, if you like your kettlebell flows, go knock yourself out, because I have tried a few of them, and actually I did it the other day, and like I kind of went through like a more of a sequence, like I kind of evolved it to like 3 or 4 movements, and I was like, oh, this ain't so bad. But you know, and then with that, I've like really like learned, and a lot of things I'm trying to learn too are for the people that we're working with are limited on equipment. So I'm trying to learn different things you can do. Like if you only have like one kettlebell or something like that, like maybe this is the way to like really get a good stimulus, like kind of link some of these things together and get like a good amount of coordination and for the game of golf, like rotation, balance, lateral movement and stuff like that, like kind of blending it all together. So I like it. So like I've been playing with it. So like, that's what I've been kind of obsessed with, is watching these. And then you watch the bloopers and it's been like, okay, so it is a big production when they actually put it together like that. But I'm just putting together a couple movements to see how it works for golfers. Yes, of course it's a production. It's a massive, it's for the gram, especially when they got like 2 or 3 guys or girls or whatever, like putting all these movements together. And then when you hear it without the music, like there's someone back there like cueing them, you know, off camera, whoever like the camera person is like, okay, halo, left, lateral lunge, squat. I think it's ridiculous. I still think it's ridiculous. I'd rather watch dancing, which is awesome. And I'm here for choreography. And I love watching people like dancing to music and all the cool shit people do on the internet. But it doesn't need to be with a kettlebell or a mace bell or whatever. Not for me. No, I mean, and it shouldn't be for many people. It's you know, fitness, there's like, you know, now with social media, there's a lot of like, oh, let's just make this for entertainment. Yes. Like this isn't like an actually like video of like, hey, try this and to improve your golf swing or get better, or like this will help you with this. It's like, here, let's just watch us do this because it's going to be entertaining for you. Yes. Which is fine. Totally fine. Totally fine. If that's what gets you up and moving, great. Mm-hmm. It's just, again, we're not training most people. We are hoping to train the general public, and we've trained lots of people, and we know that that's just doing the most. Mm-hmm. Nobody. By far doing the most. But I have like opened my eyes, and like I'm open-minded. Good for you. And I've learned some moves that like I can put in there that are easy and basic for golfers by watching some of these people out here. And I'm like, and that's not what they're doing these for, like, because they look cool. And like I'm like breaking it down. I'm like, oh, like look at how their hip moves and then how they rotate. I'm like, that could be great for the golf swing. Let me try that. Especially for summertime when you're traveling and you only have a couple pieces of equipment or whatever. That's helpful. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, with that, I think we did good with generally staying under an hour for our
for our audience. Not that we cut ourselves off, but we do try to just keep things succinct. Essential language.
Cody sucks with essential language.
You're working on it. I mean, the podcast is meant to be a little bit longer than essential, I guess. But anyway, we appreciate everyone listening as always. You can always find us at Cody Wescott Golf on the Instagrams. Our YouTube channel, Shoot It Straight Podcast, of course, is on YouTube. If those that are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, find us on the YouTubes if you want to see us every once in a while. And then, of course, Cody Wescott Golf on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm. And we're working, Erika's editing some videos today to put up on a day in the life of eating and some other little bit longer form content on YouTube for you to watch, enjoy, and hopefully learn something.
Yeah, we're learning every day too, with all of this cool tech stuff and video stuff. So thanks for those of us that are with us now, and hopefully you stay tuned for a while.
Thank you. Have
Bye.
a good day. Bye.